Just following up real quick on this legislative stuff. Yesterday, the president blamed Republicans for blocking his agenda, called them obstructionists, but he admitted that he hadn't reached out to any on the issue of voting rights. So now, given where things stand with these two bills, will he be reaching out to any Republicans, seeing that this bipartisan effort on the Electoral Count Act might end up being the only game in town on that?
Well, we don't accept that, but I will also say that there has been discussions between Democrats and Republicans for months now about voting rights legislation. They have been invited multiple times, a part of the conversation, reached out to, engaged with. 16 of them have supported the protection of voting rights legislation in the past and declined to do that this time. They are not uninformed about exactly what this legislation would do, and they've always been welcome to be a part of the conversation. They decided not to, and I think that's important for people to understand.
Real quick question on crime, then I want to ask about Ukraine. Ahead of the president's meeting with the mayor's conference tomorrow, some of the biggest headlines this week have been the New York City woman being pushed to her death in a subway, the woman in LA being murdered allegedly by a career criminal. I saw this morning that you went on TV and reiterated the president's position. Yes, on Fox. Thank you for joining us. That he wants to fund police and make clear that crime is something that this White House takes seriously. But you guys have not weighed in on the actions from these prosecutors. So why hasn't the administration weighed in on some of these new policies from DAs who are downgrading certain crimes or refusing to prosecute certain crimes, given that it could undermine some of these broader efforts that your White House is making to show that it takes crime seriously?
Well, one, there is a law enforcement component and a justice component of the federal government, right? The president has been crystal clear, I think, and almost every time he's spoken about this, that he believes that more needs to be done by local leaders. We're going to support funding to ensure they have that, whether it's local COPS programs or other programs to support surge response teams, as we're seeing different kinds of crime in different parts of the country. And that will continue to be what he advocates for. But I wouldn't expect he's going to comment on or engage in every local law enforcement action.
Moving on to Ukraine,